Officials from Washington, D.C. were on Capitol Hill this week dealing with the issue of funding, and of course, they had to get raked over the coals by Republicans. One of the most heinous, despicable persons in Congress is Nancy Mace of South Carolina. And man, was she rude, disrespectful, and gross when she was talking with Mayor Bowser. Watch this.
All right, Chair recognizes Ms. Mace from South Carolina.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good morning. The government of the District of Columbia, under the leadership sitting in front of us today, has become a poster child for DEI and gender madness. This has led to government. Mr. Chairman, this is not a concert. This audience can just settle down.
Stop the clock, and the gentlelady's right. Under the rules of the House, the chairman is responsible for maintaining order and preserving decorum in the committee room. I expect audience members to be respectful of the committee, so
I'd like to reclaim my time, too,
You reclaim it, absolutely. Ms.
This has led to government-sanctioned racial discrimination and the erasure of women. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17 provides Congress plenary authority over the District of Columbia. Using this authority today, I'll be introducing the No DEI in D.C. Act. This bill will rip the DEI and gender bender nonsense out of the D.C. government root and branch, and restore common sense and equal treatment under the law. As the individuals charged with writing D.C. laws, signing D.C. laws, and enforcing D.C.'s laws, we have some questions for you on the meanings of some of the curious terms we have found in the D.C. Code. My first question for Mayor Bowser, it's yes or no. The D.C. Code makes numerous references to, quote, structural or institutional racism. Do you believe the D.C. government is structurally or institutionally racist? Yes or no? Yes or no? Is D.C. government racist, institutionally racist? Yes or no? All right, you can't answer the question. So my next question for Mayor Bowser, since you're going to sit there and placate or just be quiet, in Section 7-1234.02 of D.C. Code, you use the phrase child welfare involved birthing people. Child welfare involved birthing people. Can you explain to me what this means?
I'm not that familiar with that part of the code.
Okay, and so you don't know. In Section 7-1234.02 of D.C. Code, you use the phrase justice involved incarcerated and homeless birthing people and their non-birthing partners. Can you explain to this committee what that means?
I would have to see the whole section.
You don't know. You're literally the mayor of D.C. and you don't know your own code of laws.
Well, I don't know them.
All right, one thing we noticed the D.C. Code struggles to define is the term woman. So Mayor Bowser, what is a woman?
I'm a woman. Are you a woman?
100%. Okay. 100%.
I'm a woman. You're looking at one.
Okay, good. You actually, in Section 3-703 of the D.C. Code, you use the phrase, the intersectionality of gender and race to create unique dynamics and effects. Can you explain what this means to the committee?
Where is that, ma'am?
Section 3-703 of the D.C. Code. Do you know what that means? No, you don't know what that means. So Chapter 14D of the D.C. Code establishes the commission.
I'm happy to answer questions.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to reclaim my time. This is not her time, it's my time. You can be quiet as I ask you questions, and then you can answer them. And then you can answer them. I'm not, Mr. Chairman, this is my time, not hers. I'd like to reclaim my time.
Let's make good use of the time, Ms. Mace.
I'm making very good use of my time. And you're making my point. You're the mayor of D.C., and you don't even know your own code of laws. What is a birthing person?
I would assume it's someone who gives birth.
All right. Why don't you use, are these women? Are these moms? You think it's appropriate to call them birthing person? Can a man birth a person?
Well, that's what I would call it, but I don't write all the laws, and I'm not familiar with every section.
Can men get pregnant?
No.
Can men become women?
Can a man become a woman?
Yeah. Can a man become a woman?
Miss
yes
Mace,
or no? Can a man become a woman? Yes or no?
Miss Mace, I'm not here to talk about that.
Okay, my next question, Chapter 14D of the D.C. Code establishes the Commission on Reparations and a reparations fund to provide eligible African Americans monetary reparations or other forms of redress. Is it the position of D.C. government benefits should be provided to individuals on the basis of race?
I believe that the legislation requires a study.
Okay, I'm asking you, is it the position of the D.C. government that government benefits should be provided on the basis of race?
If you're
is the
referring to
question.
that legislation, I believe it requires a study.
Okay, I'm asking you a question. Do you believe that government benefits should be given out on the basis of race? That is the question. This is the third time I'm asking.
We have any number of benefits programs, and eligibility is established.
You're not answering any of these
program.
questions. I'll give it to you. You're slick. In Section 2-1383 of the DC Code, you use the phrase social value of the LGBTQ community business economy to the district. Can you explain what this means to the committee?
It means that LGBT businesses provide economic benefit to the district's economy.
Do you think all businesses provide economic benefit to the DC economy?
They should, or they would be out of business.
Yeah, of course. All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
Thank you. Chair recognizes.
That heifer make my ass itch. I cannot stand. You know her ignorant ass running for governor of South Carolina. Governor of South Carolina. Oh, I can't stand her trifling ass. Go ahead.
But look, that's exactly the point. She's running for governor of South Carolina. Those are her local politics. I remind people, there are only 3 million transgender people in the entire country. They are 1% of the population. The way conservatives talk about it, you'll think there's one hopping out of every corner and in every phone booth. There's an obsession with it because that plays well with their Christian conservative base. And what she was fishing for was to get a clip of Mayor Bowser saying something that she could run in her campaign for governor. That could go viral on Newsmax and in 4chan and those places. You got to play the game. And that's what Mayor Bowser did.
And here's the game. If I'm Mayor Bowser, this is me for 5 minutes of Nancy Mace. I ain't saying a damn thing, Matt. I ain't giving her nothing. I ain't giving her nothing. Or, listen. Or I'm gonna roll up like Cash Patel. I ain't giving her ass nothing. Nothing. Nada.
So I have two immediate thoughts about this. The first being that it's interesting that she started out talking about DEI. My understanding from little research I've done is that she was the first woman ever to graduate from the Corps of Cadets at the Citadel. But what she doesn't have on her house website is the fact that her father was literally running the Citadel at the time she graduated from the school. Why is that important? Because if she were a black woman, they would be talking about nepotism, how she didn't earn it, how her magna cum laude wasn't ever earned because her father was actually the person who was running the Citadel when she graduated. But she didn't talk about that. She just talks about DEI. Because the second point that I have to make is that I think we're in a part of society right now, or a time in society, where our politicians are way too much about pageantry. This is about pageantry, and this is obviously about vitriol. Nancy Mace is running for governor. She wants the sound bites, but that's all it's about. And if I'm you, I'm doing exactly what you say Muriel Bowser should have done, especially because she wasn't asking questions to get answers. This is like when I'm in a cross-examination and I want to beat up on somebody and I want to make a jury think that I'm in control and that they're whatever I want them to look like. This is not about getting actual answers to the questions. And I think part of that is because we, as a populace, have gotten used to the political pageantry where it's about sound bites and it's not about substance.
Yep.
Here's the other thing. The mayor doesn't write the laws. I mean, now, I don't know exactly how DC's, mayoral council power structure is set up. But in a lot of places, right, the city council is the legislative body, of course. They're the ones who ratify the laws, and the mayor is, depending on where you are, either the chief executive or really the main point of that city council. To think that that person is going to know every law in the books in their area is just really an absurd idea, especially when you're cherry picking and picking out little parts of things without greater context. And this is all about pageantry. It's not about any substance. And we see Nancy Mace is apparently trying to make her name because that's what she's doing, running roughshod anytime she gets an opportunity. And I don't think that Mayor Bowser should have countenanced any, or rather accepted any of that, or, been involved in any way, because it's all BS. It's not about getting real answers.
Now, that was another back and forth on the Capitol Hill, this time with Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib, and it also involved a member of the HELP, Congressman Byron Donalds.
Thank you. Chair recognizes Ms. Tlaib from Michigan.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I think it's really important. I mean, we're talking about, 700,000 people that live here, and I feel like their voice gets completely just dismissed. And so if I may, Mr. Chair, ask unanimous consent to enter the record. The Washington Post poll of DC residents found 8 out of 8 in 10 opposed Trump's taking over of their local police and sending in federal troops.
Without objections ordered.
I think it's also really important to understand, like, the incredible kind of slanderous, like, defamation. I don't know what to call it. They're just burying Washington, D.C. You just heard them speak about our nation's capital in that way, in a way that I feel very much like that's not what I see. I see people walking around with their families, people enjoying, regards to it. But I think it's important, Mr. Chair, just like in D.C., home rule was one out of Black freedom struggle in the fight for civil rights. We can't be passive right now. So nobody over there should take anything we say like so personally as if we're attacking them. No, we're attacking a process. We're not attacking people here. And I think it's really important. We need to stand up against this fascist takeover. That's not a bad word. It's a fact. And here in D.C. and across the country, it is so incredibly important, Mr. Chair, that this committee does not allow rhetoric that defames or paints Washington, D.C. in a way that you all haven't really truly seen. You're just reading it. No, you're just reading it or something off of some.
Will the gentlelady yield to a question?
Yeah, I think it's really important.
Will the gentlelady yield?
No, I don't yield. I don't even have time. I can tell you.
Your time's expired.
It is expired, but Mr. Chair, but you all live here, and you're not telling people the beautiful parts that you do see in our nation's capital. And no, it's just wrong how we're doing it.
Chairman, I think it's insane that the gentlelady doesn't have an argument, but she's going to refer to me and some of my colleagues. We were from the Third Reich. This is insane. It's insane. It's insane. It's insane. Do I look like a member of the Third Reich to you, Ms. Talib? Is that what I look like to you?
You're the one taking your voting card.
Is that what you think? Is that what you think? Is that what you think?
No, that's unethical.
I think it's radical and I think it's insane. And I'll respect everything that you say. But to say something like that to myself and a lot of my colleagues is way out of line. It's way out of line. It's way out of line.
Regular order, Mr.
Way out of line.
Regular order.
That's okay. But it's okay, right?
That is not how it goes.
It's okay, right?
You hold yourself accountable before you talk about
Hold myself accountable. Hold your own self accountable. How about that? Hold your own self accountable. How about that?
Free DC and make sure you vote with your own voting card.
Got a little heated there. Got a little heated there between Rashida and MAGA, the help by McDonald's. Again, and here's the whole deal. I know people say, oh man, she went there. Guess what? When she runs in the primary, she wallops the folk who run against her. So all I'm saying is there are people out there who do want to see Democrats bring wood, who want to take it to them. That's what they want to do. So I'm just saying, if y'all want folk to turn out in huge numbers, you're going to have to sit here and learn to jack some folk up.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase, and I'm here with a very important message. We are at a turning point in the Black community where we must have equity in the apps we use that scale to billions of dollars. But this time, we own the infrastructure, we own the culture, and we shape the future. And Fanbase is the future. Fanbase combines the free functionality of Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube into an all-in-one platform built for the evolution of social media and monetization. With over 1.4 million users, that's real proof that we are shifting the conversation of tech ownership and equity for creators. So right now, I want you to go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. The minimum to invest is $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase at $665 a share. This marks a turning point in Black ownership of social media. If we don't take this opportunity to own social media right now, we will always be customers to our own creations. And that can't go on. So once again, go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. We must own the platforms where our voices live, our stories matter, and where our culture drives the world. Thank you.